On This Week in Weed, Wisconsin's new governor announced major plans for cannabis reform, Trump supporters are crowdfunding a border wall made of hemp, and the UK received its first bulk shipment of legal medical marijuana. This is the Day's with Mary Jane News, and you're watching This Week in Weed. This is the Day's with Mary Jane News, and you're watching This Week in Weed. This Monday, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers joined the chorus of state leaders calling for cannabis reform in 2019. Evers just announced that his next state budget plan will include proposals to decriminalize weed and legalize medical marijuana. This plan would remove all state penalties for the possession, manufacture, or distribution of up to 25 grams of weed, and would also create a new program to help minor pot offenders clear their criminal records. Governor Evers says the bottom line is that we're spending too much money prosecuting and incarcerating people, and often people of color, for nonviolent crimes related to possessing small amounts of marijuana. This proposal would also create a comprehensive medical marijuana program for patients with debilitating medical conditions, including chronic pain, PTSD, AIDS, and cancer. Qualifying patients would be allowed to smoke medical pot and grow up to 12 plants each, and anyone would be allowed to use CBD oil without a doctor's recommendation. So hemp has been legal for 2 months now, and some of the country's most outspoken conservatives have already brainstormed an unusual new use for this plant. Congress has so far shut down every single one of President Trump's attempts to get his infamous border wall built, so a team of his supporters just came up with an alternative idea, crowdfunding a border wall made out of hemp. The new plan, spearheaded by former White House Chief Strategist Steve Bannon, former Kansas Secretary of State Chris Kobach, and baseball legend Curt Schilling, would fund the wall via private donations rather than through an act of Congress. And to keep costs down, the team has proposed building the wall out of hemp. Bannon recently said that he is obsessed with the idea of using hempcrete, a concrete alternative made primarily from hemp, to construct the wall. Bannon also told the press that he thought it was ironic to use the hemp wall to keep Mexican cartels from smuggling pot into the US. But the real irony is that not only has illegal immigration been steadily decreasing since 2007, but border seizures of smuggled marijuana are also decreasing dramatically. A recent Cato Institute analysis reported that drug smuggling has fallen by 78% over the past 5 years. On the other side of the Atlantic, the United Kingdom is finally making major strides towards cannabis reform. Last Thursday, the United Kingdom received 800 grams of medical marijuana from the Netherlands, the first ever bulk shipment of weed to be legally allowed to enter the country. The UK Home Office legalized medical marijuana last November, but up until now, import laws and regulations made it extremely difficult for patients to access their medicine. Those days are now over, and the new shipment of Dutch-grown weed is already being distributed throughout the country. Patients can now either pick up weed prescriptions at their local pharmacy or have them delivered by a licensed courier. However, the cost of this new medicine may be hard to swallow. Patients will need to cough up over $900 an ounce for legal medical marijuana, which is around 3 times the average cost of black market pot. This is the Day's from Mary Jane News. For all your weed news needs, check out maryjane.com, subscribe to our YouTube channels Mary Jane and Westfest TV, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Mary Jane. As always, Godspeed and good weed.